Well, happy Saturday, folks. The real Captain Kirk here. We're live from One Bethlehem Plaza here in downtown Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Here it's the 28th of December. We missed the snowstorm here we had here in Lehigh Valley here, and right before Christmas gave us our snowiest white Christmas in over 7 years, second most snow on the ground in almost 40 years. So it was a snowy period right here before the holiday. We missed it down in the tropics. Look at snow cover here, Christmas Day here. Again, it was map left here is only 26.4% of the country with snow on the ground, but that's a lot compared to last year, 17.6%. And again, all that Great Lakes, upper Midwest, Northeast, and here in Lehigh Valley here again. So a little below average. Normally we'd have about 36% of the country with snow on the ground, at least on Christmas Day. Only about 3 days left here until 2024 comes to a close. Hard to believe it's almost over, heading to 2025. Looking at meteorological winter now, that's 1 December through usually 28 Feb, 3-month period. So this is kind of the front half of December in the history books and a 2-week outlook here. So we've had Polar Vortex number 1 hit while we were out, 2021 time frame. Again, had sub-zero temperatures here in eastern Pennsylvania. So very, very cold for us with that snow. Warming trend now nationally. You can see the chart left there. And again, another Polar Vortex number 2 coming for the eastern half of the country here in just a few days. Snowfall trends are in the middle. Again, we had a very much snowier start to winter, meteorological winter at least. A little bit of a lull, and then now we're going to get another big uptick here. In fact, our snowiest week there, the 5th through the 11th of January, while not as much as last year's very, very snowy period, again, it'll still be close. So a very snowy period coming up for sure. Rainfall trends right. Maps show the 1 December through 11 January time frame. So much colder there in the upper Midwest, Northeast, even down into Florida. Drier along the East Coast, but again, the big winter for snow has definitely been Northeast, Mount Washington, New Hampshire, 151 inches, most in 19 years season to date. Erie PA, again, the western part of the state here, 49 inches, most in 7. Binghamton, New York, just to our north, 37 inches, most in 4. And here in Lehigh Valley, outside our headquarters here, 5 inches here so far. So most in 4 years for us. So about average at this point in the season for us. Look at the U.S. weekly snowfall trends. Again, you see that much snowier period there in December. Again, a little bit of a lull now. And again, we'll see another big uptick here as we get into second week of January. These are just the season-to-date snowfall trends. Again, see some of those areas, crazy areas in Siberia that are already well over 120 inches, measuring their snow in feet. Again, not quite that much, obviously, here in the east as of yet. Looking at flu trends here, again, we're starting to probably nearing a peak. Still well below the last few years here, so that's that red line here. It's probably going to peak here in the next week or so, early January, and then hopefully it's just a one peak wonder and starts its downward trend. But as it got colder here, we saw the uptick in flu. Look at last week world summary here and ending today, 28 December. Here, mix of two halves of the country here, but 2.3 colder than last year, 7th warmest in 39 years, 27% drier, 18th wettest in 39 years, so near average for rainfall. Snowfall down about 35%, 4th least in 39 years, so much below average on that front. Again, maps inset left are the trends versus average. If we look at this week here, again, getting us to the first 4 days of January 2025. Again, a little bit misleading here because we'll show the maps here, but strong Arctic cold front coming through midweek into the central U.S. So warm start and then a very frigid end. But the week overall, 2.4 warmer than last year, 11th warmest in 39 years. Snowfall up about 94%. Still 3rd least in 39 years, so not much. And 266% wetter than last year, 16th wettest in 39 years, above average. But again, we'll animate the snowfall maps, and then we'll animate the temperature maps because you'll see the big change here. Saturday, some snow in the higher elevations of the west. And again, that kind of where it remains here. Spills out into the central plains a bit as we get into early next week. This is ahead of the front here, so you can see Wednesday, that front, January 1st. It's going to be warm ahead of it, but snowy behind it. Again, the Great Lake effects will kick in here as we go into the latter half of the week. So about 34% of the country will get some snow here over the next 6 days. But this animation here of temperatures, reds are much above and blues much below. And you can see that plummeting to the plains, Great Lakes, East Coast, even all the way down to Florida. Florida needs to watch here for a pretty major freeze here as we get into early few weeks here of January. So again, warm start, and see that by midweek, late week, again, that cold surge especially next week, heads into the eastern half of the country. Storm track shows about 2, maybe 3 systems here traversing. We'll have to watch one of these systems here as we get into early January. That shows potential for a snow event for the coastal northeast cities. We'll see. Again, the pattern certainly conducive to a snowstorm that could impact areas like New York City. So we'll see here. The pattern certainly is becoming colder and snowier here as we start off 2025. Next week here again, 5 through 11 January here. So you can see that colder trends in the eastern half of the country, and west stays warm and dry pretty much for the western half of the country. Week overall is 4.8 colder than last year, coldest in 8 years, 12th coldest in 40 years, so well below average again for this front half of January. Snowfall down 7%, but that's off a very snowy week a year ago, so still 10th most in 40 years, so well above average snowfall there. Again, the Plains, Great Lakes, down with the Great Lakes, and we'll see about the coastal northeast. You have a chance. 62% drier than last year and 18th wettest in 40 years, so near average on that front. We just aggregate these 2-week world outlook trends here through the 11th of January. Again, it's a little misleading because it's again, you're mixing the very warm here start to this week and then much colder after that. So don't get used to the next few days with the big warm up here this Sunday, and then downward trends as we go to the latter half of the week. Precip trends inset left there. And these are just the precip trends, snowfall trends. Probably overdone here for snowfall in the northeast. We'll see. There's going to be some snow for sure, but we'll see if it's just quite this much. But again, stormy there again, and from Texas into the Mississippi River Valley area. So I'll have to watch maybe another thunderstorm severe weather event here ahead of this next Arctic cold front. And again, we'll just end here with the snowstorm here we missed on the 21st here. It's pretty neat how quickly it went from green grass and to near whiteout conditions here. So that, folks, we hope you have a great week ahead. We will be back here again this time next week.